All right, so now we're going to start learning the basic rules for circuit analysis. I know we're getting to the point. It's going to get there. But Kirchhoff's voltage laws, Kirchhoff has two core laws. This is the foundation of all circuit analysis, all electrical engineering concepts. Anyone who studies and does any type of circuit stuff, these two laws are the foundational piece. You have to know it. We are not shortcutting it. Some people do circuit analysis by shortcutting using series or parallel resistance, stuff like that. We will get to that later, but I want you to analyze circuits the correct way using only these circuit laws, because these are the most powerful things. If you do not understand this, it's going to make everything else way more difficult. So first of all, let's look at the circuit symbols. We've talked about the resistor. You're going to have a battery. This is what commonly used on College Board. They prefer this. This is sometimes used if you see textbooks. They're noticing a battery or a voltage source. They're both providing a potential difference there, and they'll notice the plus and minus signs. And remember, in order for current to flow, it's got to flow in a loop. We got to have a closed loop form. So that's why a lot of these rules, the next two rules we're going to talk about, or this one, has about that loop. We need to have a loop that's formed in a circuit. Now, here is the law itself. The sum of the voltage drops in a loop add to zero. Okay? Where does this come from? And we'll talk about how we do that. Is that in a particular wire, everywhere, like anywhere a wire touches, there's a wire. The potential is equipotential equipotential. The potential is technically because of a little bit of resistance. If we ignore the resistance of wires, metals themselves have like generally very low resistance. So assume ignoring the resistance of the wire itself, right? And the resistor is made up of like a material that is more like blocks electrons from flowing a lot more. The resistance of the wire is very little. Anywhere there's a wire, there's equipotential surface. That means and remember, this goes back to our electrostatics, right? If I take a part and move it from somewhere else and come back to the same, if I take an electron, move it there, the work should have been zero because the potential has not changed if I come back to the same spot. And it's a similar thing here because anywhere there's a wire, if we come back to that same spot on that wire, we better be at the same potential and no work needs to have done. Okay? So the law is saying that the voltage drop between any 2 points should be same regardless of the path it takes. And it's important when you are doing this that you define the positive and negative terms of the voltage loop when setting this up to add it correctly. So let's go through some examples so you can kind of see how this operates. Write an expression for the KVL loop for the following circuit. So you see the 6 volt here. Because of this longer side, I don't know if you noticed that in the circuit element, the longer side is the positive side. So we're going to be labeling. For KVL, you want to be labeling these positive and negative. So that's positive and negative 6 volts. Now, how do you want to do the rest of them is kind of up to you, but I'm going to do it like this. This from here to here, and then from here to here, like this. And so let's do a loop that does this. We'll call this voltage drop 1. And voltage drop 2. Let's say I don't know what those voltage drops are. Okay, and so we do a loop. You start at a particular point, and anytime you go from minus, so we'll do a loop like this. Anytime we pass through an element, when we go from minus to positive, we're going to add that voltage. So this is going to be positive 6. Then when we go from here to here, from plus to minus, we are going to drop that voltage. So minus V1. And then from here to here, we're also going to drop because we're going from plus to minus V2. And now that we're back down to here, because everywhere along the wire has the same potential, that's going to equal 0. Let's say we label this. Now you might be asking, like, why am I choosing to label like this? Other than the 6 volt, these are up to you to decide which way is plus or minus. So for example, I could make this one, let's just make it plus and minus this way. We'll call this V3. And so let's do a loop that goes like this. Now, why did I choose the plus on the bottom? Just because I just felt like it, okay? It's up to you to decide that. When we do circuit analysis, you will see how that works. So let's do a loop that goes like this. You'll go up 6, okay? You'll go down V1. You'll go down V2, and then you're going to go over it. You're going to go here, then down this way. From minus to plus, it's going to be plus V3. And then now we're back to the same node. Remember, everywhere along the wire has the same potential, so that's going to be 0 there. Let's do one more loop, okay? Let's do this loop right here, from here to here, okay? Any circular path loop, this will work. So from here to here, we're going, I tend to go clockwise. That's just a tick that I do. You don't have to go clockwise. That's just like my personal, like, that's just what I've done from my years of experience and practice. I happen to go clockwise. You don't have to follow me. You can go counterclockwise as long as you are making a loop. Okay, we're going to go up V2 here. We're going to go up V3 here. So minus the plus, then minus the plus, and now we're back to where we started, and that's going to equal 0. So you get this interesting relationship, V2 is equal to negative V3. Okay? So that's it. That's all I want you to understand about KVL. That is how we do it. We assign the positive and negatives for every element, and we're going to make a loop that goes around. Okay? Let's do another one here. Let's assign our positive and negative. So here's 12 volts. See this longer side? So this has to be the positive side for the batteries. For resistors, you can choose what you want. I'm going to tend to just make it go in the same direction. So I'm going to make it like, I'm going to make it do, and I'm going to try to stick to red for the potential differences when I do my lesson. So that's going to be, we'll call that V1. And then this one will do V2. And then this one will do V3. Now, why am I doing plus and negative on this side? I know the current's going to go that way. That's my experience. But honestly, it doesn't matter. You can choose it however you want. So let's do a loop that goes like this. Goes through this branch. Okay? So what would that look like? Well, we're going to go up 12 from negative to positive. We're going to go from positive to negative, so it's going to be minus V1. Then we're going to go from positive to minus, so we're going to do minus V3. Because we're traveling in a direction in this loop, right? Let's clockwise direction that I've drawn, and that's going to equal 0. Okay, how about let's do a path that goes like this? What if we went the other way? Let me just show you what would happen. Let's say we did the exact same loop, but we went the other way. Okay, what would we get? Well, we're going from positive to negative, so that's negative 12. We'd go from negative to positive, so that'd be plus V3. And we go from negative to positive, and we plus V1. Now look at these two equations. Are they the same equation? Isn't this equation just this equation times negative 1 on everything? Just times negative 1. So it mathematically is the exact same equation. It's just all we did was multiply by negative 1. And that's all that changes when you change the direction of the loop. Okay, let's do one more loop. Let's do the loop where we go like this. Start here. Technically, we're starting here. So I always like to start at the battery. That's just like, again, personal preference. You can start anywhere in the loop as long as you complete the loop. So we're going to go up 12. I'm going to do minus V1 from positive negative. We're going to do minus V2, and we're going to get to 0 there. Okay, so that is simply how you do KVL. That is the equations for KVL by adding up the voltages like that. Okay, that's what the KVL law is. That the sum of them will equal 0.